The United States now requiring all travelers flying into that country to provide a negative COVID-19 test within 1 day of boarding their flight. This is just the latest change to international travel rules at home and abroad that are aimed at slowing the spread of the Omicron variant. CP24's Jee-Yun has the very latest on the mounting confusion Canadians face as they try to navigate this new reality of travel in these most uncertain times.
A new testing requirement for travelers flying into the U.S. kicks in today. All air travelers entering the U.S. age 2 and older must be tested for COVID-19 and present a negative test result 1 day before boarding their flight, regardless of their vaccination status. And this applies to fully vaccinated U.S. and Canadian citizens as well. Now, the new restrictions don't limit the type of test that travelers can use. So you could do a PCR test, a rapid antigen test, or several other tests that have been approved by the FDA. Now, that is if you are flying into the U.S. Now, if you are coming into Canada, everyone is still required to do a PCR COVID-19 test and present that negative result within 72 hours before entering Canada. But here's what's new. All travelers that land at an airport, aside from the U.S., will have to do a PCR test at the airport, and then they must isolate until they receive a negative result. And so this is a new requirement. Industry travel groups are saying that this can cause chaos and long wait times. At this point, we know that the Greater Toronto Airport Authority here at Pearson Airport in Toronto, they said that not all passengers are being tested yet as they are waiting for the federal government to put the infrastructure in place. In the meantime, they have increased random testing here at Pearson Airport. Now, as for travelers that are coming in from Southern Africa, the federal government over the weekend announced that any Canadians that are in the 10 countries that have been banned can come to Canada. These are as long as they've done a negative PCR COVID-19 test from an accredited lab in South Africa within 48 hours of departing. They will be allowed to return home in the next week or so. This is a temporary exemption that has been put into place for any Canadians that are in these 10 countries in Southern Africa that are currently under a travel ban for entering Canada. So lots of new information. Industry experts basically saying, be prepared, do your research before you decide to travel.